Carry on.
Anytime. You can press that shucker. You can shuck that shit
mother
right
shucker?
out. That mother shucker.
What's up, mother shuckers? It's live
Oh.
on 30ish. We're here.
I will do that one for this week's.
Mother shuckers. That's
Mother
a good
shuckers.
one.
I like that.
Welcome. Hi.
Hello.
Welcome to 30ish, everyone. Did I say welcome yet?
You did.
I'm really trying to get into this.
You really are.
Shit. How are you?
I'm good.
You good?
You just looked at me very weirdly.
I did.
Yeah. I'm super good.
Good.
Okay. Yeah, it's been a couple... Hi.
It's been a couple weeks, guys.
It's been a couple weeks. My sister came to town, and then she decided just to stay. So, you know
and
how
then
that
she,
goes.
got a job real quick, and then she'll be back next week. This week.
She'll be back
this
Saturday.
weekend.
Today is
insane.
Thursday. Yeah. It's
what
crazy.
Day is it?
Yeah, she's not
What's
bringing
my
her
age
dogs,
again?
which is a super nice. I liked it. She's not bringing her dogs, which is super good. So, she didn't just for right now.
Yeah, that's fine. They'll bring the dogs up.
Yeah.
Well, your sister came to your house.
She did.
We played Mario Golf.
Played Mario Golf. It was super.
We all played Mario Golf.
Is that what you
together.
do when you're in your 30s? Is you just play
I was really upset that you guys didn't wear, because you guys were on your comfy clothes and I was wore jeans and I was like, fuck, I should have just worn my yoga pants.
Rookie mistake.
To play.
I'm also not petting your ass. It's the cat's right here, just so you know.
She is not petting my ass, guys.
Just so everybody knows.
Okay.
Although you have a very nice ass that I would pet, so it's fine.
Thanks, Shay.
You're welcome.
Thanks for that.
Yeah.
I know that. A lot of people would pet this ass.
I don't know if Christopher would like that. No. Anyway. Yeah, so that happened. So that was really awesome that she's going to be in town. So I'm super stoked about that.
I know, she's moving on up.
Oh my
God, Buddha is
she's up in your booty. She wants to pet your ass.
Get off my booty, Buddha.
One of my best friends is getting married tomorrow, so that's exciting.
That's exciting.
Yeah, mostly because, God bless her, but she really didn't have any bridesmaids, so I didn't have to be in it. And I just get to show up and get boozy. what kind of wedding is... That's the most kind of weddings, right?
That's the best.
I'm all about that life, so yeah.
But usually when you're a bridesmaid, you just get drunk the entire day. Speaking of bridesmaids, my sister-in-law's here and I was her bridesmaid.
Oh, well, look at you.
And
you enjoyed every minute of it.
I did.
You did.
I did. It was great.
Yeah.
Should we talk about what I did this weekend?
What did you do this weekend? I don't know why I'm talking like that. What did you do this weekend?
Well, guys, Brie got herself into quite a predicament.
I don't know why I didn't set that up, but...
It's fine. I did for the enjoyment of all of you. Okay?
Mm-hmm. Go ahead. You tell the story.
Brianna Lee... That's me.
That's you all day.
She was going to help her dad do some stuff.
Like you always do, like a dutiful daughter.
On the tractor. I was about to go get my fucking Bob the Builder on. Not really. But anyways, I was shutting the gate to get to the property I was working at. And then I guess I just didn't put my car in park. And I turned around after I'd shut the gate, and my car was driving down a hill into a runoff water pond, and my car drove into a pond.
Now, I know...
It ghost rided the whip, but I didn't know I was ghost riding. It was just ghost riding itself. And thankfully...
I don't know why, but I'm assuming there's
everything's fine.
Shit around you, but for whatever reason, I see this... very Sound of Music type of scenery behind you. I don't know why. There's a lot of these hilly
there's
Alps,
lots of hills.
But there's not. But in my head
there's
there
canyons.
There's lots of canyons, and you're just running down this grassy knoll.
I turned around and I was like, "Is this a dream?" But then while I was thinking that, I was like, "No, run!" And so I started sprinting to my car. Thankfully, the mud stopped my car.
Did anybody see you at the time of it happening? Do you
No.
think? No.
The neighbor heard me. He said, I heard some rumbling, and my music was on, so I didn't hear my car starting to drive off.
I heard...
And it was parked on...
some rumbling.
He said something like that.
That's the best description I think I've ever heard of somebody in distress. I heard some rumbling and some rustling in the trees.
He was laughing. It was fine. I was just
As you were crying?
I hugged him. I don't really know him at all. I gave him a big old hug because he was the first person I saw after my car was sitting in the pond.
You should have got in there and
my dad came to the rescue with his tractor, pulled me out. I had to get back into my car that was filled with water.
What did your dad say to you when he saw what happened?
My dad actually was very calm. He was like, "Shit happens, Brianna. Let's get this
good
fucking
dad.
Car out."
Didn't judge
And then
ya.
I was like, "Can I do anything?" And he was like, "Do you have a snorkel?" I was like, "Can I get you anything? Like, can I do anything?" He's like, "You can get me a snorkel,"
man.
because he had to go in the water and attach the chain to my axle because there wasn't a fucking tow bar thing on the back of my 2017 Honda.
Now I know where you get your humor. That's pretty fucking hilarious.
Jesus. Yeah, it's for my dad.
For your dad, like, just to be like, "Do you have a snorkel?" He probably was like, "That was funny."
Yeah.
Probably was laughing on the way home, just like, "God, I was quick. I should just do stand-up."
He was like, "What have I been doing this whole time?
What have I been doing with my life?"
But anyways,
Just watching my
so that's my story. I've been drying her out. I sucked her out for quite a while.
Well, you know, she probably likes a good sucking. So.
She hopefully did, and she hopefully likes me after this last 5 days of her having a little rest and dry out time.
I'm sure it'll be fine. I'm so sorry that happened to you.
I can't even believe
I can't believe it happened to you either. But
I mean,
I'm glad you were okay.
Things like this don't need to happen to me anymore.
No, yeah.
This is the
Put
last
that shit out into the universe. Okay.
But what was fucked up, hashtag, I don't know. What was really fucked up is that I literally, because someone called me last week wanting my car, and I was like, yeah.
You should still try.
I was like, I wonder if I was like, what if something fucked up? What if I like? I literally feel like I thought about that happening.
What I learned from this experience
So
is that
I feel like I manifested it.
Clearly a witch. So
I just need to do the right things.
correct. You need to manifest the right shit in your
life. And then
life.
also, it's just also another, because I've also been trying to be a lot more aware of my thoughts, because I have fucking wild ones.
Yeah, we all know.
All the time.
All the time. In your noggin.
And so it was like, oh, Brie, be aware of your thoughts, you crazy lady.
That is weird.
Yes. Oh.
Anyway.
Oh! Our friend Jessica Go Swan, she always tells me she wants to be on the lives, and she never gets to, but...
Hello,
anyways,
Jessica.
Hi, Jessica.
How are you?
She's one of our OGs.
She is. And she has the cutest...
She left us a review.
She has the cutest children.
Is
it the right one?
No.
Damn it!
Different. There's a lot of Jessicas
children.
in
I don't
our
know.
circle.
Yeah, there is a lot of Jessicas
She
in our
doesn't have
circles.
children yet, but she will have cute children because she's a little cutie herself.
Oh, well, thank you for being an OG.
You're
the best.
Okay, well, now that it was fucking story time.
It was a good story time, though. That doesn't happen to a lot of people.
Yeah, I was like, have you ever seen anyone drive into this irrigation pond, sir? He was like, nope, never seen that before.
No.
Living here for 40 years. It's like, well,
there
glad you have a new story.
Well, what are we drinking and eating? Eating.
Yeah.
We're not eating anything.
Well, I'm talking about food.
I made you a really great, nice, stale cheese plate earlier.
She did.
Only the finest Kroger can offer. So, hashtag sponsor us. Okay.
Well, we're drinking some cherry limeades today. Then I made with some lime juice and Topo Chico, of course. And I forget the name of the cherries off the top of my head now, but they're not Luxardo. They're like the little step to the side from Luxardos, if you know what I mean. They're delicious, but they're not quite a Luxardo. Yeah. But they're good. And I used some of the syrup and some of those cherries down there.
It's really delicious.
And Topo Chico.
It legit tastes like a freaking cherry limeade from Sonic. All it's missing is a corn dog.
All it's missing is a corn dog.
Seriously.
We should probably get some corn dogs.
Maybe later.
Speaking of corn dogs, how's Tinder? Just kidding. All right. Well,
that's a different story for a different day.
All right. What did you roll?
I rolled...
Couple of corn dogs on Tinder.
I rolled a fortnight ago. Nostalgia. Better be nostalgia because mine is definitely nostalgic. So.
Oh my god, I can't even.
It's a pretty good one.
I can't even fathom what you're gonna.
It's a good one. It's definitely nostalgic pop culture rolled into one.
Well, that is what that number is all about.
Yes,
that's
like
what
the hokey pokey.
All about. I rolled food.
Yeah,
and I'm gonna talk about some food stuffs. Maybe some things that are funny, some things that are delicious,
maybe
some
both.
Things that are just atrocious. So I guess you'll find out what I'm talking about when you listen to the episode right after this message. Okay, bye guys.
Okay. Now we're good.
Are we on?
We're on like the
Donkey Kong?
like the Donkey Kongs.
The Donkey Kongs Nintendos.
Do. I don't know what I'm doing.
Is that the song?
I'm just excited because my sister's going to be here on. Oh, I thought you said, like, are you going to touch yourself? I'm like, not in front of you.
Tetris, what is... Are you all right?
I'm
is
fine.
It 'cause there's cleavage in this shirt?
It totally is. I like anything with that looks like a butt or some boobs.
Perfect.
Anyway.
Well.
Yeah.
Moving along, your sister's going to be here. She's going to be a chef at a new restaurant. And
Los
speaking
Chicones?
of food, let's talk about some food.
Let's talk about some food. I'm excited.
Today I'm going to be, I've been out of the restaurant I've been out of the restaurant chef world for a couple years now, right? And last year was quite a year, and I probably haven't been out to eat at a normal restaurant in probably at least a year.
Okay.
And so I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna research for food this week.
What? No, wait. Let me guess.
What?
No, I don't know. Okay.
Buy America. I can.
I don't know how I come up with this. It's like a gift or God or something.
That's retarded gorgeous. Okay, we're gonna be talking about the food trends of 2021.
That's
because besides ordering DoorDash,
that is
because there was more. That's surprisingly.
That's very true. There's no Konosh. I'm just joking.
No, but I thought it would be fun to see what the fuck's going on.
I like that.
And you know what? I also wanted to first talk about one of my least favorite food trends and one of my favorite food trends.
Ooh, that's a fun one. I like that. You're getting personal.
So I want to ask you what you're like off the top of the dome.
Off the dome?
What's your least favorite food trend? Mine? Colored ketchup.
Whoa, I forgot about that.
Fuck that shit.
I forgot that was a food trend. What was
like gross? I don't need green ketchup, and I definitely don't need purple ketchup.
I forgot about that. Like it was like and they called it like what I hated was like called the easy squirt. I'm like, yeah, that is going to give you some easy squirts.
Yeah,
no,
fucking extra color number 7.
Absolutely not. That's a tough one because I don't really. I'm just like, just give me good food and I'll eat it. I don't know off the top of my head.
Probably pumpkin spice. That was Shay.
Oh fuck! I don't know.
Pumpkin spice is your least favorite.
You're right. I don't even know why because I burned it so far in the back of my. That is 100% correct. Pumpkin spice is like Dave Matthews Band to my fucking mouth hole. Get the fuck out of here! Yeah.
Crash into
Oh god damn it! Just, fuck you.
That was so off key. But one of my favorite food trends, which I thought of another one after I thought of this first one, which is everything spice on like everything.
That's
like
your favorite
everything
one?
bagel spice.
Yeah.
That is. Oh, I could put everything bagel spice on so much shit, and it's so good.
Oh, that's a good one.
And I feel like it's definitely trendy.
It is trendy.
It was trendy.
I feel like it's kind of coming.
Or became.
No, but I think it's coming back because I had that like on the avocado toast.
Yeah, and that's another thing.
At Butterfly, and that was really good. And I swear to God, I saw that somewhere else, and I was like, "Is this becoming a trend?" I dig it. I mean, honestly, my favorite food trend is the fucking charcuterie board. Oh. Because who doesn't like a charcuterie board? I'm a basic bitch, and like maybe I don't like me some pumpkin spice, but I kind of come back up with that basicness with the charcuterie.
I wasn't gonna mention this, but I will now. But apparently there's a food trend of like a board for like everything, like a charcuterie board was something. So it was like just a bunch of like pickles and jars on a board.
Okay.
Or like fucking ice cream boards, like
that's
board, like any kind of board, a chocolate board, hot chocolate boards. I was like, how do you
I don't know how you do that, but like, okay, you do you.
Yeah, I mean, you could put anything on a board if you want.
That's true.
What I don't like though is when people at restaurants put things on boards that like shouldn't be on a board. It's like this sandwich is dripping onto my flap.
Yeah, I did
because
like
my flap.
Your flap, like Christopher.
My lap.
Are you okay? Do you get lost into her flap sometimes? It's like a little cave in there.
Gross. It's not a flap.
I hope not. Well, at least not the one. But Jesus, just really one long flap and another short one.
Stop it. My lap.
On a good day, she's like a flying squirrel up in here.
Oh my God.
No, that's true. There was a place in town that I felt like that did that for a while, and it might have been, was it was that whiskey bar. The
flaps?
Flaps?
They had everything on a board.
Like on a board, and you're just like, sir, no. Like, it's a greasy sandwich.
Can I order bumpers for my plate?
Right?
Thanks.
How do you order that? Yes, I agree with that. Like, there have been trends where it's just like, oh, just make it like this, and it's like charcuterie, everything.
So silly.
But charcuterie is delicious, even when I was eating meat more. But
that's like a chosen, like one of my top favorite meals is a charcuterie board.
Charcuterie boards, and I feel like there was a big pretzel craze there for a while, and I was big into that. Yeah.
Dude, I got an Aunt Annie's pretzel, Auntie Anne's or whatever they're called, pretzel, waiting for my parents at the airport the other day.
Something about it though, right? It's delicious.
I haven't had one in like fucking 7 years. That fake butter tasting.
Like,
so good.
I love
that gross ass cheese. I dip the shit out of there.
Right. I love me like the pretzel from the Social here with the Brie mustard.
Oh,
which is so good.
So good.
But
that still was good for me.
It is. But I still that Aunt Annie's one, like it pulls a little bit in the
nostalgia.
First. Oh, it's so good.
That nostalgic heartstring. It
sitting in the mall,
plays it like a fiddle
with your friends, just being like, you know, we're gonna go after Sam Goody. We're gonna go to Hot Topic. Get some Marilyn Manson pitzels.
Say it exactly like that.
Just say it like
I'm
that.
12.
Get some Satan stars and our Good Charlotte t-shirt.
And some Rainbow Bright stickers.
With our Invader Zim shirts. It's so
what I get
true.
at Hot Topic. My favorite purchase at Hot Topic was a Napoleon Dynamite t-shirt.
Oh, that's a good one. I did like their t-shirt boards. It's just, have you gone in there recently?
No.
It is not. I went in there, I was like, what is this?
It's a lot of anime or something.
It's a lot of anime. It feels like really gothic Claire's now. That's what it feels like.
Well, I mean, that's always what it was, wasn't it?
No, they used to play like Rob Zombie in there to be cool or whatever. But like, I actually like the branding of it.
BTS and Blackpink.
Pretty much. It's just oh my God. K-pop. By the way, speaking of like whatever pop, like I have been listening to a lot of like, was it Ava Max or whatever lately?
Who's that? She the 16-year-old
probably
driver's license girl?
What?
I don't know. Was that song? I've heard it on the radio 17 times in this truck
probably.
driving.
It's like the one that sings King and Queens. It doesn't matter.
Should I get into my topic since you can't really edit this one?
I'm so sorry.
No, you're fine.
It's fine. We're only 7 minutes in. It's fine.
Perfect. Okay, so first trend I want to talk about that has been a trend for a while, but just people are supporting local more than ever, which is awesome.
Yes.
And keep it up, keep it going. It shouldn't be just a trend. It should be forever. And always look out for where your shit's being made.
Right.
Who's making it, and especially if it's made locally and it's a good product, get it.
Which I love that term, and I use it now forever, like shop with your dollars. It's my favorite term, and I love it. I tell it to everybody, like, they're like, I like that. I'm like, my friend Bree made it, like, to talk
vote
about
with
it.
your dollars.
Vote for your dollars. But I love it because it's so fucking true. And Rachel made a good point too, and Crystal, her fiance, we're talking about how like, you guys, like, your local stuff, like, really survived and held up well in the pandemic. Like, it's like, we're very, very pro shop local. So keep it up, Foco.
Yeah.
You the best.
And just, like, just be conscious of that. And yeah, maybe it's $1 or $2 more, but it's like, think of how much better that is for your local community. And that person is in your local community paying for their kids to have basketball practice lessons and whatever else, you know?
Yes.
Basketball practice lessons. For the children.
Do it for the children.
Kids. I believe the children are our future. Shop local. And
It was like you put two things together, and I liked it.
perfect.
It was good.
Thank you.
We should reach out to them and give them that.
Okay.
And be like, that'll be $1,000.
Children, I made you a new song.
I meant to. Never mind. It doesn't matter.
I know. I was like, that's not what she was saying.
Just children
and
in
now
general.
I forget.
It's fine.
I will.
It's fine.
I'll create a school and call it this. Never mind. Okay, so next up,
Christ.
fucking plant-based everything, which is sweet too.
That is true.
but also a little sketchy sometimes. So be careful. Read your labels.
So that is like, and we talked about this in the Seaspiracy one too, because like I feel like there's going to be a growing where the more those quote unquote meat is bad documentary, which again, I'm all about watching the one in Game Changers, which is like, hey, moderation, you guys. If you guys need the meat, like it's great or whatever, but don't go, just eat the raw foods, because if you get too much into the plant-based, Impossible Burgers, it's like, but you also have to read what they're putting in there. It's like,
it's a bunch of weird ass shit.
right,
in there
you could,
too.
it might be the same as like eating junk food. So you're right about that.
Yeah. So, but definitely, there's like everyone makes plant-based shit now. Like fast food chains are
Everybody.
jumping on the bandwagon for
Yep.
sure, which is awesome. But also at the same time, it's just another way to exploit shit. So,
Right.
yeah, read your labels. Like if there's a bunch of weird chemicals in your plant-based product,
Right.
which there shouldn't be if it's plant-based.
There shouldn't be, but like to kind
Sometimes
of
there's weird gums and
right,
weird
like to just
whatever,
because
fillers,
preservatives, because you have to like obviously keep it,
Mm-hmm.
you know, what's the word, stable, shelf stable or whatever.
Yeah.
And so it doesn't mold. But like look for burgers. Like I think Blind Pig does one where they make it in. They don't use Impossible. And they don't use Beyond. They actually look for those, because that shit's awesome.
Maybe I should do a food segment on the dope ass veggie burgers that we used to make at that vegetarian restaurant I went to.
You should. Oh,
Anyway.
by the way, yes. So we went to the sister store. You can edit this out, but like the sister store to City of City.
Watercourse.
Yes, and it was awesome, and it was all like vegan or whatever, and it was pretty good. We had the it was the turkey one. It was like a turkey thing, and I was like, this is dope. But I was thinking about that. I was like, but what do they cut the turkey with? Like, or like what? Not cut it with, obviously, but like what is in?
Yeah.
Like, is it? Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
so
it's like what else? Yeah.
yeah.
How
So
are
we
they
didn't make it
making
to
this like
City of
this?
City, but that would be a good one, because I would love a new fucking vegan burger recipe.
Yeah. Maybe I should start making them and selling them.
You should. I would buy that shit
don't know.
all day long, dude. Anyway.
All right, so 28% of people said that they've been eating more protein from plant sources during the pandemic, since the pandemic, which I know that you have been.
I have been. Yeah.
I know I have been too. And so that's just making companies create more innovations and more.
I wonder, did you find out why though, or does it say anywhere why? Or was it just because?
I think it's just
an uptick in it for some weird reason.
I think it's just because people were becoming more conscious because they had the fucking time to be, and they were like, oh, maybe I shouldn't eat shit.
Right?
Because
they
I'm
weren't
sitting
on
in
the
my
go,
house for the next 7 months.
trying different recipes, and
Yeah.
also probably like watching way too many shitty documentaries, and that's what happened. It was
Yeah,
like I
that's
watched like
true,
Game
too.
Changers, and I was like, and yes, a lot of those facts have to be taken with a grain of salt. I get it, 100%, but it worked for my body, so to each their own. But anyway, but like that's cool. Okay, cool.
Cool. Yep. So some other thing that this freaks me out, like, but I don't know why I didn't ever think about this, but soon to be on the market, watch out for plant-based fish.
Shut up. What?
But it's like, well, yeah. I'm like,
I don't know about
imitation crab, but that's actually cod or some shit. So it's actually still fish.
Right.
But like, how are they going to do that? That just freaks me out.
I don't know. I tried. There was, because I used to do sometimes I'll do the Impossible when I'm trying not to do it as much, because like you said, like you have to read your labels, and I'm not gonna like trade one thing that's hurting my body, at least for me, like cow was, like it really just, I didn't digest it well, for something that could be just equally hard for my body to digest.
Because it's not even used to any
And
of
then
that
I was
shit.
seeing things like chicken, like plant-based chicken, and I was like, I don't know about that. But that was like the turkey. I was like, what is in this thing that I don't know. I'm just a
And
little
sometimes
sketched out
it's
about
legit,
it.
like it is.
Sometimes
but
it
sometimes
is. Sometimes it
there's
is.
not legit things. Like
Bottom line,
when
moderation.
Nabisco starts making fucking weird ass plant chip, like you
Right.
know,
That's
just,
true.
Just make sure you're really looking at what is actually there.
Just
because
moderation.
technically an Oreo's vegan, so
That
I
is
mean,
true.
because that shit's made with oil. So you know, just
And they are delicious.
read your shit.
There's not an Oreo tree?
No.
That's bullshit.
But yeah, people are making shit like mushroom jerky, all kinds of snacks, fucking
that's interesting.
cauliflower, chickpea, everything. There's like breadcrumbs.
That is true. That
Cauliflower
is a
Alfredo sauce.
humongous.
There's mung bean eggs.
Okay, like I have seen a lot of those whatever eggs, and I'm not a fan. I'm like, this is gross.
Eat
I'm
a
just
fucking egg.
I'm just good with
There's
just
good
not
things
either.
in
I'm
that.
gonna have the egg or I'm not gonna have the egg. Like I'm gonna just trade it for eating vegetables or whole fruits or whatever I'm supposed to be eating. So I'm good. Thanks. Yeah. Gross. Oh.
Tofu eggs. Oh my god, I hated having to make those.
Ew. How do you make those?
It was like,
It's a food segment, so
well, yeah, it is. So at City of City, this is how we made them, and it wasn't bad, and it sounds fucking weird, but it was like tofu, peanut butter,
what?
turmeric. I don't know the exact recipe. I wasn't the prep cook. I was a line cook, so I didn't
already
always
vomiting.
make the tofu eggs. But I'm pretty sure that's what was.
You would just mash them up, and they would always obviously be.
And it would be scrambled.
I'm like, how would you
People
do an
loved
over easy
the
one?
shit out of that.
Interesting. Okay.
People do make vegan eggs now, though. Oh, and then I
They
was
do.
also, which actually I really want to try. I should figure out the name of it. It's like Bellamy or Bellavie or something. But it's a vegan cheese company, but it's like aged cheeses. But they're made with like nut milks and stuff. And I know that sounds fucking whatever. It looks legit. Like she has like a blue cheese and a something like I'm definitely down to try that shit. Like
Yeah. No. I
I'm
mean,
not knocking it,
you
but
definitely-
don't put weird like Daiya cheese is like all oil. I know we've talked about this, but it's like
yeah, I'm not a big fan
you
of
might
them.
as well just eat some fucking cheese.
Like the cheese.
Okay.
I completely agree. There are some plant-based shit. I'm just like, just eat the fucking real thing if that's what you're craving, because you're actually putting something that's just as damaging. Again, in my own opinion, for me, like, or whatever, like if you're trying to avoid something, like but then you're putting 30 different chemicals in your body.
Yeah,
That
but
doesn't
if
make
it-
any sense.
Yeah, and if it's just know what's in your food that you're eating. Like,
Yeah. Apparently, though,
Always.
Crystal
That's
makes
all.
a really amazing vegan cheese. You should talk
But she
about that.
does.
But apparently, it smells just like New Belgium.
ooh, yum.
Because every time we would pass New Belgium on the way back to my house, she's like, "That smells like my vegan cheese." I'm like, "Well, it smells delicious." Whatever.
That's pretty risque. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, it's totally
Smells
risque.
like my vegan cheese.
You're like, okay.
Anyways,
Anyway.
moving along. So next up, the trend: non-alcoholic beverages.
Yeah,
I don't know about you, but I've seen them everywhere, which is
have
dope.
escalated,
and awesome.
especially for like my person that not my person, but like my cousin who is a recovering alcoholic, and he's like, yeah, there used to be like fucking. It was like O'Doul's and like one other one, and now it's like there's like craft fucking whatever and
Sparkling
waters and like wine like that's non-alcoholic and like craft beers and like even like
There's whiskey
and vodkas. I'm like, what the fuck? Okay,
Yeah.
How
I
do
didn't
you
know
taste? I'm like, isn't that just rubbing alcohol? I don't understand what that is for vodka.
Well, this 0 proof whiskey that I found is filtered water, cane sugar, natural flavors, citric acid, sodium benzoate.
but to me, that's just
It's like, why are you?
it's like a bunch of sugar.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, again, what are you drinking?
Right.
But then there's stuff like, there's this one called, Dram, my friend that makes Dram, the bitters, and she makes her own adaptogenic sodas and sparkling waters. I mean, that she has been big in the whole,
good for
non-alcoholic
her.
beverages things. But
That's cool.
there's this one brand, they're called like Euphorics. That are like adaptogen, nootropics, and botanical like drinks that aren't alcoholic, but it's supposed to give you some sort of buzz though from all the other things in it. Which I've heard some mixed reviews about the Euphorics, but
Almost like the kombuchas. Like I've gotten like a little bit like not on the alcoholic ones, but like it's like the Trilogy brand or whatever, where I would feel like a little buzz from just the fermentation. Anyway.
Well, yeah, I don't know, something.
Yeah.
But yeah, non-alcoholic beverages are like the new thing.
It is, you're right, it is a brand new thing, and my cousin Bryson was super stoked about it.
Which is dope. Like, yeah, people like that.
That is really cool.
It's just like, yeah, people that aren't drinking should
be able to
have
enjoy
something that's not like a fucking Coca-Cola.
Right.
Like, you know?
If you're going to have a Coke, you might as well just have one that's, you know, that you're going to kind of enjoy, that you're just like, well, I mean, maybe they like Cokes, I don't know. But Bryson did say, like, he's like, it is nice that I can just, like, kind of have a better beer than O'Doul's and then just be able to hang out with my friends and, you know,
yeah, exactly.
and just feel like that social aspect without feeling guilty or...
Which is also, like, you shouldn't feel that way, but at the same time, it's
Right.
like, it's hard not to if everyone's drinking around you.
Yeah, and it's not like he was sad that he didn't miss the
that has to be
alcohol.
hard.
Yeah, he just missed, like, the social aspect of just, like, kicking back and having a beer. And he's like, it's just a nice option to have.
Exactly. So, hell yeah. Good
That's dope.
on...
Yeah.
Good on that for one of the new trends.
I agree.
Next up is pickled and fermented foods. It's like the
that
next
big.
level. It's like this year's sourdough and banana bread. It's because people are like getting comfy in the kitchen.
Oh, yeah. They're like, guess what I can do now?
I'm
Pickle
gonna ferment some shit.
Give me that cat. I'm
And
going to pickle that cat.
And it's not going to be a cucumber.
Nope.
It's going to be a cat.
Give me a key cat.
I mean, that also reminds me of that pickle this or pickle it. You can pickle it. That
sounds
Portlandia
Yes.
episode. So I guess pickling's, but like more and more people are
doing it.
People are running out of jars.
They're becoming
and shit.
little. Oh shit, Mace.
Becoming little home.
I should fucking. I need to like buy some stock in bell jars.
You literally,
right?
Probably.
I should have done it in the Chip and Joanna Gaines phase, and then now pickling. Damn it! Rookie mistake.
Rookies. So next up is heritage cooking. So, which is more like first generation chefs cooking the food of their like heritage and their culture and their and doing it like authentic as fuck. Like that's apparently, according to Food and Wine, that's something that's new on the rise.
That's awesome.
Which I feel like, especially with like food trucks, you definitely see more of the heritage cooking being showcased, because it's like, this is the fucking food of like of my culture, and like this is how it's like how I don't know. It's just
like you're.
I don't know.
Like kind
it's
of
more
like
approachable for people to want to try it more. I feel like too, instead of going to like a brick and mortar restaurant, they're like, oh, I'll try that little, you know.
I
think
agree.
That's very prominent in food trucks, but more and more so in actual brick and mortar restaurants too is a new upcoming trend.
I like that trend. That's a good trend.
It's another one.
That's a trend that
should
needs
always,
to come.
I mean,
to Fort
that's
Collins.
always kind of been a thing, but more and more it's being celebrated instead of just like, oh, that little hole in the wall. It's like, no, these people are actually. It's not just the hole in the wall. It's like a high respected, or the hole in the walls are becoming more highly respected because of their authenticity and
Have you tried? Speaking of hole in the walls, have you tried Little yet?
Oh yes, I love it.
Is it really? I haven't tried it yet.
It's delicious.
I've heard it's really good. I had a friend that went and they fucked up her order, so they just, and she got it for free. Like, it was like a table of like 8, and they fucked up everyone's order because they forgot to put it in, and so they brought them every single entree out, and they got it for free. I was like, that's the way to fucking do it. That's awesome.
That's the way to make
good
up
on
for
you,
your
fucking
shit.
Little, for doing that. And like, apparently the food was phenomenal.
Oh, it's awesome.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
But what kind of food is it? Like, because I don't even know.
He's just.
I just figured it was like something different than what Fort Collins offers. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's not. It's. I feel like he does different cuisines. He changes his menu seasonally. It's a smaller menu, and obviously, I think there's like, well, now with outdoor seating, there's probably like 50 seats, but I think there were 30 seats originally, and
because it's
little on mountain.
Okay, that's cool.
They're awesome.
I didn't know what kind of cuisine it was.
It's like, I think he kind of switches it up all the time, and he just is a really good chef.
Noted. Okay, cool.
Okay, so next up is at-home restaurant experiences, because people are trying to get creative with to-go, because a lot of times restaurants, it doesn't really translate to-go food very well. So some chefs are putting together like meal kits or like make it yourself at home. Like I've seen like do it yourself dumplings. Like, okay, you're gonna put it all together and I'm gonna give you so it's like kind of interactive, but also they're getting the best shit from these chefs. Like the chefs are making the actual things, but they're actually getting to like finish it, assemble it, and like they're making specific only to go meals for people. Like my friend Ty, who owns Olivia in Denver, he was doing like they're doing like specialty like bottles of wine and like to go lasagna and something like a seasonal salad or something. Yeah. But that was only for to go.
Yeah,
that's but like just trying to like, you know.
Yeah, that's also
chefs adapt no matter what.
That's
one of the things.
Yeah, they're like crazy little key cats. They can adapt to anything. But also that is one of my new favorite trends is the fucking to go booze. That shit is dope.
Mm-hmm. And a lot of cocktail kits.
Like, yeah, that one is a really cool one. I'm like, that is a great that's a great one just because that's a really great gift. Like my sister was talking to me about that. I was like, that's a great idea.
Or like if your friend's having a party, bring it to the party.
Right, like that is a great. And I'm like, I'm hoping that trend keeps up. And I'm actually believe Texas totally. I was like, yeah, no, we're just gonna pass that law through. Like fucking to go booze all day long. It's fine.
Like, why wouldn't you? Like,
right? Why wouldn't you?
Everyone's fine.
I think it's awesome. So that's really cool. And I think that's another reason why local has survived so well here too, is because of to go booze.
Mm-hmm. So, well, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And like and bars got the shaft with all this.
Yeah, they got fucked.
You know, at least they were able to do something.
Yeah. Which I'm surprised actually a lot of our bars in Fort Collins survived. Mm-hmm. I'm shocked that they did. So good on them.
Wild. So yeah, like one of Jose Andres, he's a very famous prominent chef in Washington D.C. One of his restaurants, they they made this paella that was on their menu. Like they made it into a popular to go menu item, and they had like this paella pan that would fit perfectly in a pizza box, so they were able to like give the same kind of presentation.
That's cool.
That you would get in the restaurant, but they were able to like bring it home. So I don't know if they had like people return the pans or like if that was included in the price, but like those things are not cheap.
Like an honor system. Like, can you bring that back and can you bust it before you bring it back, please?
Can you bust that? Thanks.
Yeah, thank you.
But yeah, so that's another little thing.
That's a cool
special
one.
Date night meals for people, stuff like that.
Super cool.
We're always being innovative, but last year definitely
maybe people
took the cake.
Yeah, they really had to reinvent the wheel to just stay alive. And I honestly think it did benefit us. Again, like you said, like people are shopping local more and, you know, because they're like, well,
fucking restaurant workers are getting paid more now.
Right.
Like the fucking, it's still not, it's way better
than when I was cooking
than before the pandemic.
Absolutely.
And it wasn't going to fucking change.
No.
And it wasn't going to be thought of as something that was needing to change because it was like, it is what it is. But now it's like, fuck you, no one's going to work for you.
Yeah, go fuck yourself.
Like every restaurant has like a now hiring sign outside. I've noticed
every
in downtown.
Single
it's
one.
Crazy.
Yeah. It's insane.
Wild times.
It is a wild time. But I'm happy that that shit is changing. I wish it was changing 5 years ago when I was working in the kitchen, but like that's okay.
It's all right. We have our new times to shine.
It's true.
So my last trend I want to talk about is just some ridiculous TikTok food trends because TikTok is new-ish in the last couple years, and TikTok food trends were fucking trendy as fuck in the last year and beyond.
Are you talking about the ones like that were also like the ones that were like they were obnoxiously bad?
Yeah,
and I was just like, this can't be real. But then they would stick it in their mouth. I'm like, I would like to see you swallow that, ma'am or sir.
Yeah. So one of them, well, not all of them, I think. Well, okay, like this one, it looks good. I haven't tried it. Whipped coffee.
Oh, I haven't tried that.
But I've heard mixed reviews about it.
Yeah.
Still haven't tried it. One thing, the fucking tortilla fold. Which I can get it, like the tortilla fold where everyone's like trying to make their own Crunchwrap Supremes basically. And it was like, you put this ingredient on this quadrant. You put like different ingredients on each like quadrant of a tortilla and then you fold it in a way and then you grill it. But then people were like not grilling it all the way. So it's like, you're not doing it right. And this is stupid. But then people were putting weird shit in the fucking tortilla folded things. I get the idea, but it's just like, fucking do it right.
I'm such like a fucking 30 girl because I'm just like, I don't know what trends or whatever on TikTok. I have no fucking clue. No fucking clue.
I don't have a TikTok, but
like I don't even know.
yeah.
So I don't know about that one.
No, I know.
And I don't know about whipped
fine.
coffee. So what other ones on TikTok did I miss?
All right, this one I didn't know about. Pancake cereal.
What?
So people get fucking pancake batter and squirt it out of a squeeze bottle. So it's little tiny pancakes. And then you put it in a bowl. And then you put syrup and butter on it in a bowl.
Disgusting.
And you eat it like cereal.
Is that real?
That's literally real. Billions of videos.
Of people doing that.
Of people making this shit.
But
For deliciousness. I don't know.
But like that's okay. Number one, I don't understand the whatever viralness of TikTok because once one person makes it and it goes viral, why do we need to see other people making it?
Because they want to make because it's almost like a 5-star review. It's like
to test it.
Yeah, it's like a fucking like. It's like a a security.
That sounds like okay. Back
blanket?
in the 90s, that's perfect.
Security blanket.
That's like in the 90s when like cereal was a fucking Wild Wild West time where they were like putting little mini Pop Tarts, like pour some milk on it. Like no, don't do that at all. Or like they were just doing
color changing cereal,
right? Like all of it. That's what that sounds like. But
color changing milk,
more disgusting. Because I would think like after 5 seconds,
it's soggy.
It would be like. This batter is so good.
Slash, how much syrup you have to put into it? Yeah, it's stupid.
That makes me vomit.
Next up, Mozzarella Donuts.
What?
Oh my god! So basically, you put a fucking cheese stick.
Yeah, so it's a cheese stick
in a circle. It's a fried
cheese
mozzarella
stick.
stick in a circle, and people apparently
are
loved
losing
it.
their shit.
Yeah, apparently. Next
it's
up,
a circle instead of a straight line. You guys, it tastes so different.
So it's a donut.
It's a donut.
Fucking special. Sorry if you guys make those.
Oh my god,
I'd eat one.
What a ton! I mean, I'm not saying I wouldn't eat it. I'm just saying it's stupid that you're just because it's a different shape. It's like an epiphany for people.
I know. It's
whatever.
Next up, ice cream bread, which is literally people melting
That's not
ice cream.
Real.
Yes, it is, Shay.
Shut the fuck up.
Billions of videos. Literally, you mix flour in ice cream.
What?
And you might put baking powder in it. I forget.
Oh,
I'm
sorry.
I watched one video. But then you put it in a fucking loaf pan and you bake it and people eat it.
Okay. How does that work?
Because it has eggs and sugar in it. I don't know.
But
I know. I don't know.
It's already been whipped. It's
And
already been like made
cooked.
into another product. That's like putting essentially like sugary milk.
I don't know. It's probably
with some
rubbery
flour.
and weird.
It's probably foul. But then you watch people pull it out of the oven and then take slices
and they put
and
sprinkles
eat it.
on it.
Shut
and they
the
fucking
fuck
take a slice
up.
and eat it.
Dude, everybody is gonna. Okay, do you remember Wally?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what everyone's gonna be in like 50 years because like the shit that they're putting in their bodies right now. Who is doing this? Oh my
People
god!
are doing it. Okay, next
If
up.
I ever have children, I'll be like, you are not going to be doing any of these things because you're
They
not
will
going to
never have a TikTok.
You are not going to have diabetes at the age of 17.
Yeah, literally.
Get the fuck out of here. Okay.
Next up, a phenomenon called cloud bread, which is basically just egg whites and cornstarch that you bake, and then people break it.
Shut the fuck
I don't know if you
up.
eat it, and people dye. They're like, you can dye it different colors. It's like, are you gonna even eat it?
First of all, I don't.
I
don't understand why people are ruining bread. It's already great. Just eat bread. Just you know what you should do? Take all that shit and throw that away, and then make some real sourdough, and then eat that. Like, what are you doing? What are you talking? And then if you want to like get a wild hair up your ass, you can dye the sourdough and go to town. What are you talking about? Oh my god.
Yep, that's a thing.
I'm so upset.
And last but not least, I'm sure you've seen this feta pasta, the feta pasta sauce.
No,
which I mean, in theory,
that
I
doesn't
can
sound
see.
horrible. That doesn't sound as bad as the fucking cornstarch bullshit what we just talked about.
No, so this is. I mean, no, it's not. This is not horrible. I just am wondering, like, what the final product is.
Would taste like. Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure that it tastes fine, but like. Some of the videos I saw, I'm like, okay, this looks a little too runny to be a sauce for pasta, but I don't know. Anyways, so
So what is...
You basically put cherry tomatoes in a pan.
Okay.
And then you
starting out
sprinkle
fine.
olive oil.
Okay,
salt,
starting out
pepper
okay.
on it.
Sounds
okay?
great. Sounds great.
And then you mix it all together. And
Okay,
then
sounds
you
good.
put in the middle of that a block of feta cheese.
Okay, sounds like kind of
more olive oil on it.
Sounds like some bruschetta.
Then you bake it.
Okay,
Then you
sounds
just
good.
bake that. And then once it's baked, you mix it all together. And then it makes a sauce. And then you just add cooked pasta, whatever kind of cooked pasta in it. So it's super easy. That was like the thing. It was super easy, yummy, whatever. And I'm like, yeah, those are all delicious things.
Bland, though.
But, I mean, the texture in the end, I just wasn't sold on.
Right. I mean, like, I would put that again, like, it just sounds like kind of a different take on bruschetta. But, like, I don't know if I would...
Yeah, so then you just mix all together. It makes this, like, soupy, saucy, because of the juice from the tomatoes and the olive oil and the feta cheese that's all melty and creamy.
I mean, at least out of all of those things that you talked about, that was, like, the one that's the most edible.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Besides the pancake cereal, let's be honest.
No,
Just
absolutely not.
All right, well, those are
But
my
I
trends.
also did, like, okay, so, because I was a fat kid, still am. But, I mean...
We all are.
So at HEB, is a grocery store in Texas that those that don't know.
Heb? I call them Hebs.
Hebs, really?
Yeah, I would always ask Caddy about Heb.
No, it's
She's
just
from
HEB.
Texas. She's like, no, HEB.
Yeah, so she knows what's up.
I know.
Caddy, you know. So anyway, HEB was like they had like this, which I'm sure they stopped making this bread because it was probably giving kids chronic diarrhea because it was essentially white bread.
It was like the Wow
but it was
chips.
so pretty. Essentially, yeah, it was white bread, but it was like this tie-dye bread, and it was so beautiful. And I used to love to eat it because it was like I was eating cloud because people that do that are children, and it's the only ones that should be eating it because their digestive systems are the only ones that can kind of semi-take it. And it's like, oh yeah, no, I just like I have like fucking a red ring of fire, but it's fine because I go play in the sprinkler and it's all good because I don't have to go to work and sit for 9 hours in a day, so it doesn't matter. And then I get up and my body just remits itself the next day.
And that's exactly how life works.
Yes, and I still think about that tasteless bread.
But it was
tasteless. But it was tie-dye, and for me, I was like,
we had a lot of, colored ketchup, dude. People eat that because it's colored.
The easy squirts, and easy squirts it was.
Easy to get squirts with this.
It's true.
But those are my food trends
Those
I wanted to
were
talk to
good.
you guys about.
It.
And
I liked it.
Why don't you tell us your favorite food trends or your least favorite?
Yeah.
We'd love to hear them because it's
They're
hilarious.
the best. Food trends are the best.
And if
Except
you guys
those
are on
TikTok
board
ones.
with fucking cloud bread, just let us know too because I'm very interested in how that fucking works out for you. Okay.
And your butt. So.
And, I mean, it's basically like an unsweetened flavored meringue.
Kind of.
It's ridiculous. I just am like, oh my God.
Oh, my body.
And then people get like millions of views for it. And I'm like, you just made $1 million. Just kidding. That's not what that means.
Oh, totally.
Sorry, I yelled in your ear. Shay.
It's fine. No, you're fine. You're fine. Okay.
It's just wild.
Well,
Wild times.
it's going to be,
Are we about to get even wild and crazy kids?
kind of, almost.
Legends
but a
of
little
a Hidden Temple?
close. Well, maybe not really, but like you're in the right time frame.
Okay.
Okay.
Here we go.
Here we go.
And you did.
I did. Okay. Here we go.
Are we on?
Oh, we're on.
Testy?
Testy 1, 2, 3. Okay.
Ready?
You ready for nostalgia? Mm-hmm. Okay. Who was your favorite?
In sync.
Okay, no. Children's show host with a suit. Riddle me this.
Okay, either... Wait. Bill Nye, the Science Guy?
Oh, that's a good one, but he didn't have a suit.
No, he had a coat.
He had a very cool coat, though. One more guess, and I'll tell you.
Price is Right?
That's not a children's show.
Oh, wait!
Okay, one more time. Children's host with a suit.
And it's a host.
Kind of, yeah. Not a host, but like...
A person
But kind of
that's
your...
like the liaison for the...
Yes, that's a great thing to say about a children's show host.
I was going to say the man in the yellow hat from Curious George.
Okay, fine. That's a good example.
I don't know.
Okay.
I can't think of him.
Pee Wee Herman.
Oh my god, he's not a children's show to me because I definitely was not allowed to watch him.
Okay, first of all, why were you not allowed to watch him? He wasn't.
My parents saw him and were like, "You're not fucking watching this dude talk to you about literally anything." Sorry. No way in the whole world are we letting you watch this man.
My parents were awful. So
they were.
My parents
were just really.
So you also have to remember,
sticklers.
true. Like I did. Like I had to remember that you were kind of grown. I was like gonna say bred, but that's not right. But you were raised in more of kind of a stricter religious household.
Yes.
Where I was like totally in the prime of the keep. I was in Austin. I was like in the keep Austin weird, and my parents were totally embodiments of that. And I loved him for it, and I thought it was awesome, and we just had all the weird shit. They weren't like hippies by any means, but they were just, they kept
it weird.
They kept it weird. We had all the fun, cool, just weird ass toys, and Pee Wee Herman was one of those things. Was one of our staples that we would watch on, I believe it was Saturday morning. I know we're down here somewhere. Yeah. So we watched it obviously before his whole scandals happened. Yeah.
His masturbation scandals.
Yes, which we will talk about that here in a few minutes. But yeah, so I remember watching his Pee Wee Playhouse all the time.
Show.
Yeah. Although I did watch his movie, and some of the parts there actually scared the shit out of me, but we'll talk about that.
Yeah,
too.
I have watched Pee Wee's Big Adventure.
Yeah, and that one was pretty much like what launched him, which I didn't know. I actually thought it was the other way around, but like, again, we'll get into that. So anyway, we all remember Pee Wee to some extent. His annoying little voice. Yeah.
I can't do it.
Whatever he does.
That was pretty good.
Kind of sounds like, do you remember in SNL when what's her name did the It's Pat?
Yes.
So he kind of like sounded like that a little bit.
Yeah.
Anyway.
A little nasally
guy. Anyway, so yeah. Okay, so let's go back to the 70s. Let's rewind a little bit. So Paul Reubens joined the Los Angeles-based improv comedy team, the Groundlings, which, just as a side note,
everyone does that shit.
Conan's Stomping Grounds as well. Just to be
so many people. Will Ferrell,
Lisa Kudrow,
Dax Shepard.
Mm-hmm. It was all about it.
Tina Fey, I'm pretty sure, or Amy Poehler, one of them.
I feel like a lot of the SNL cast members got their starting.
Of them, yeah.
There.
It's like the improv school,
right,
or whatever it is.
Totally.
Anyway,
okay, so he was a member there for 6 years, and he was working with like people like that I don't know, but the one of the most like prominent ones, which was Susan Barnes. I think that she was an SNL cast member for a little bit, and then Phil Hartman.
Oh yeah.
Hartman and Reubens actually became close friends, often writing and working on material together. And Reubens wrote sketches, developed his like improv skills, and with Phil Hartman, he actually developed the Pee Wee Herman character, which I didn't know that.
Wow.
I didn't know that they co-wrote that
That's
together.
A little fun fact,
right? Fun fact. That's what this
Phil
was
Hartman's
about.
not alive, is he?
No,
he died.
His wife shot him.
What?
Oh well, it's a whole thing. Yeah, his wife shot him and killed him. Yeah, he was murdered, and then she killed herself. Oh, I'm gonna have to do.
You're gonna have to do that crime story, bitch. I did not
on that. Okay.
Fucking know that.
Yeah, she was fucking crazy. Her name was Bren, and she was nuts, and she killed him. Yeah, they kind of like thought it was like more like a like she was like the struggling actress, and like it was kind of thought like she was just constantly jealous of him, and she was just sick, I think, in the head a little bit.
She definitely.
But yeah, she murdered him. And then shot herself.
Good.
Yeah. Thank God. I don't think her kids were home though. Thank God. Anyway, but that's a story for another day. Anyway, so let me see. Let me just call this episode anyway, because I've said it like 45 times. Okay, so yes, they developed the Pee Wee Herman character. In 1977, the Groundlings staged a performance in which its members created characters one might see in a comedy club, and Reubens decided to play a guy that everyone immediately knew would never make it in. I'm sorry. Let me say that. Play a guy that everyone immediately knew would never make it as a comic. Partly because Paul Reubens didn't remember jokes in real life. He had trouble remembering lines, and couldn't remember jokes and I said that, and couldn't properly piece information in like in order, which
makes sense for the show.
Seems ridiculous considering that's like
literally your job.
Your job as a comic to tell stories and then like make punchlines and make jokes. But he's like, I don't get it. I don't know what I could do though. But if I can't make jokes, then what else could I do? And there's not a whole lot of room in this world.
Well, Wee Herman.
Yeah, exactly.
You can find any avenue for yourself.
Right. But he just couldn't figure it out. If I can't make it as a comic, then what am I? Anyway, Pee Wee Herman was born that night. His distinctive guttural like laugh, which I can't impersonate. Yeah. Followed by a low like where he kind of goes or whatever he does.
Oh yeah.
And then it became the character's catchphrase, as did his insult comeback. I know you are, but what am I? Like, honestly, I just can't even believe I watch this show all the time. Anyway, okay, so his look. So Pee Wee Herman's signature gray Glen plaid suit was originally a custom-made suit that Paul Reubens had borrowed from the Groundlings director Gary Austin. The small red bow tie was given to him by an acquaintance, and Pee-wee's later checkered clothing and persona were largely lifted from a manic 1950s children's TV host, Pinky Lee, which I don't know anything about. Also incorporated into the look was his short black hair, pale skin with red blush, and red lipstick. Which I didn't know that he actually wore lipstick, which is fucking weird to me.
Yeah, sometimes his lips were very red.
Right, and then like he had like that kind of that rouge, like that really intense blush.
Yeah.
So the inspiration for the name came from a Pee Wee brand miniature harmonica and surname of an energetic boy Paul knew from his youth. So Paul thought the name Pee Wee Herman was a name that sounded too real to be made up. And like a real name, a parent would give a child that they didn't really care about.
Oh.
So, Paul, that's
really
super
special.
sad. Are you okay? You need a hug?
Do you need some
What do you need?
help?
Jesus. Like, I don't know. Like, he just... Some of the things that were described about him were very just kind of deadpanned and just like, yeah, because his parents didn't care about him. Next.
Moving on.
Yeah. So I'm like, okay, well, sweet. That's some depth there, Paul.
Yeah. Poor little guy.
So, he also has gone on to state that his family is compromised. Pee Wee's family. Compromised. It's comprised of a sister who is a Girl Scout named Hermione, a mom named Honey Herman, and a dad named Herman. Very inventive.
Cute.
He has never revealed his age, but we can pretty much gather that he's a little boy because the way that he talks and moves around, and again the catchphrase, "I know you are, but what am I?" He also states that he grew up in Florida, which also makes sense. Mm-hmm. No offense. Anyway, pretty sure Letterman thinks that he's Satan's spawn because David Letterman actually kind of gave Paul Reubens a platform to kind of showcase Pee Wee Herman. So actually, Paul Reubens actually does thank in a lot of these interviews David Letterman for kind of giving him his start because for whatever reason David Letterman liked him, so he would have Paul Reubens come on as Pee Wee Herman all the time on a show. So he actually states that he thinks that Pee Wee is Satan's spawn, stating he has an external structure of a bratty little precocious kid, but it's being controlled by an incubus, the manifestation of evil itself. Mm-hmm. I'm like, okay, well, I don't know if you're kidding because I don't really know your humor, David, but
yeah,
you do you. So
is that legit?
I don't know. So 1979 rolls around and he takes his like show essentially, and he to like the dating game. It's not his show. I'm sorry. He takes Pee Wee to the dating game, and even
though it's a kid show.
No. Like so he like just the persona as Pee Wee Herman. There's no kid show yet.
Okay.
So just Pee Wee Herman. He takes to the dating show.
Okay.
And appears on that 3 times.
Like as a fucking bachelor number 1?
Right. And he actually claims like it was like a cattle call and he went in as Pee Wee Herman. Like there was no like a stunt. It wasn't a stunt. It was
he just pretended
he was just like, oh yeah, I'm a real person. Like that's what he stated he was. So,
oh my God, that's awesome.
and he even won a date. So,
holy Jesus, what was that woman like?
right? She's like, I like to lick my cats at night. And then I eat tuna with them as they eat their cold cuts. That's not real. I'm sorry. I hope she's alive and well.
She's probably not.
I hope she is. Okay, so after a failed attempt to get on SNL in 1980, Paul gets enough cash together to put on his first live stage show, and soon after that, he made his first theatrical appearance as Pee-wee in the Cheech and Chong's. I think it was their sequel to their Cheech and Chong. I've never actually watched a Cheech and Chong movie. Have you?
I think I've watched Up in Smoke maybe partially once while I
Okay.
was really high.
That makes sense, and probably the only way to watch a Cheech and Chong movie. So this one was, I think, their sequel to their first one. It was called just Cheech and Chong's Next Movie, which he plays a darker version of Pee-wee, which is he's like yelling and swearing at the cops. Like he is like literally giving like he's saying like fuck you and like whatever, and he's just like saying like don't touch me, I'm little. Like it's hilarious, like it's
God,
ridiculous. And then
funny.
he goes on stage like on the, like one of the next scenes where he plays Pee-wee, so we know it is Wee Herman, so it's like this darker version of Wee Herman essentially. So
That's funny.
that was interesting because I watched a whole thing on that. It was pretty funny. Anyway, so originally Paul he actually kind of intertwined Pee-wee like with this persona like with a little bit more of a sexuality than what you see today. But it was later toned down as the character made the transition from like a nightclub kind of persona to like the children's television show that we see today.
Yeah, I hope so, which is also kind of weird that that's what became.
Right. But there is
Pee-wee.
still like some like they say like there is still like some sexuality within the bit like within like what
There's some innuendos in that fucking show.
right, like what they talk about. There's an innuendo that's still apparent between Cowboy Curtis and Miss Yvonne.
Yeah.
Between those two characters, which I'm sure he's like, do you want to put my gun in your fucking petticoat? Like I'm sure he says shit like that, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm sure it wasn't that intense.
What channel was that show on?
I'll tell you here
Like
in a minute.
Fox Family?
Oh, it probably was. I forgot. That's another good nostalgic one. I forgot about Fox Family.
But before that, it was the Family Channel.
Was it just called the Family
It was
Channel?
literally like family with like red lettering, cursive. I remember.
I just remember Fox Family, and I only really remember Bobby's World.
Fucking Bobby's World.
Yeah.
Man, I loved that one. Can I have some of that chapstick? Some of that farmhouse hemp chapstick?
Yeah, you can.
I didn't try
Which one
either
would you
one.
like?
The lemon cake.
1 minute. Would you like the lemon cake or the vanilla mint?
I'll take lemon cake.
There you go.
Thank you.
They have them in various sizes. I'm just kidding. They just have it in one. But they're awesome. So go out and get some. All right.
And use code 30ish. Oh, Chris's mom's probably gonna get some salve. Her and the
Fuck yeah. That shit's awesome.
they used it while they were visiting and they fucking loved it.
That's awesome. Yes. Get it.
I was like, use code 30ish.
Do it. Okay, so anyway, yeah. So the stage show was popularized by HBO when the Pee Wee Herman show aired in 1981. The Pee Wee Herman show played for 5 sellout months at the Roxy Theater in Los Angeles. I don't know why I'm like drooling. He then travels that show around, and following the success of that, he gets to make the Pee-wee's Big Adventure, so the movie.
So that was before the show?
Right, which I didn't know that either, but I guess it makes sense because the show didn't really come out until the 90s or like late 80s, and this was 1985. It was a good year.
Pee-wee's Big Adventure was an 85?
Old as me. Yeah.
Wow, what a great year to share.
What a great year. So, fun fact, Pee-wee's Big Adventure was actually supposed to be a remake of Pollyanna, which I didn't know.
What?
Yeah, it's supposed to be a remake of Pollyanna. Now so it was the original concept for Pee-wee's Big Adventure took much of its storyline from the Disney's classic Pollyanna, which I've never watched.
I watched it when I was like fucking 5.
Which makes sense because
my dad loved that movie for some reason.
That's funny.
My parents loved that
It's
movie.
wholesome.
They're very wholesome. Very
After they were like
wholesome.
stopped, like like listening to aliens and shit like that.
Cool. This is after they had the children. They're like, maybe we should chill out and listen to Raffi and
let's listen to Pollyanna. Let's
watch Pollyanna.
So, and they had it like where Pee-wee was supposed to be the character of Pollyanna. So ultimately, this idea was scrapped because, but he did. If you watch, I think it was called Pee-wee's Big Top Pee-wee. So that was more in line with Pollyanna. If you kind of rewatch it, but I've never watched Pollyanna. I remember watching Pee-wee's Big Top, and I was just like, what is this? I don't like this at all. I mean, I'm not a big fan of clowns or shit like that, but like it was just kind of weird to me. But anyway, but that was scrapped because he was presented with a bicycle by Warner Brothers. They gave him a refurbished 1940s Swin bicycle. So that's the story we got when with like Pee-wee's love for his bike and his efforts to locate it, like once it was stolen.
Oh,
so essentially, like I guess like people would like ride bikes like all over the Warner Brothers lot. It's like back in the olden times, back in the 80s, probably 70s. And so Paul Rubens was like, so when am I gonna get mine? And they just like showed up and they presented him with this refurbished 1940s bicycle, and then he was like, I have an idea. He lost his bike. So, and that's what we got. So anyway, but that's a pretty cool gift. So I don't
dreams come true.
They do. It can happen to you. All right. So because he was, it's happening. It's happening now. Okay. So the film will be directed by Tim Burton as his first feature film.
Holy
Which I did not know that it was his first feature film. It made sense that it was his, like it was a film done by him. I was like, yeah, that makes sense.
Very Edward Scissorhands-y.
Yeah, and then the score was done by Danny Elfman, which is one of my favorite composers. Which is honestly, obviously, it's one of like him and Tim Burton make movies together all the time. It was
babies
and babies, just mostly weird fucking Nightmare on fucking.
Yeah, I mean those are fucking babies and a half.
They were babies.
Movies.
Yeah. It was released on...
Movies are babies.
They are babies.
Businesses are babies.
All of them. It's a hard birth, and they usually disappoint you in the end. Anyway, it was... I'm just joking. It was released... I just liked your processing of that. You're like, that's not the message we wanted to send. It was released on August 9th of 1985, and while I was a wee zygote, and while receiving mixed reviews...
You weren't too wee.
No, I wasn't too.
You were like a half-sized zygote.
I was the stage after the zygote.
You were a half-breed.
I was a nugget. I was a chicken nugget.
You were probably like a banana.
I don't think so. A banana? Like
August, September, October, November.
I guess that's true.
4 months.
Technically, actually, I was
at 5 months.
Technically, I was supposed to be born in November. And I held
you
up.
Were definitely banana
I was like,
sized.
I'm good.
Do you know there's like an app that like
it can tell you like what the baby size is?
Yeah,
yeah.
Someone told me that.
I had my cousin does that. She's like, the baby's the size of an avocado. I'm like, how do you know that? I mean, obviously the internet is just a cesspool of knowledge, but like I didn't know there was an actual app that you can.
And it tells you every day.
They're like, it's a mango. It's the seed of a mango.
It's still a mango.
Oh, but you might need to go get that checked out.
Should be a dragon fruit.
One with the spikies.
Yeah,
it's good. Yes. So it performed well at the box office, and it would become a cult film. Fun fact: in 2014, you should watch it. Except that
we should have a movie night.
It was like
30ish movie night.
It scared me because like anytime when the scene, because we would watch it a lot because my parents watched the weird shit. We would watch it, and it would be like the large Marge like scene where it was the trucker, and then she's like, "Oh, he won't mess with us because all I have to do is show him my face like this," and then like you didn't see. It was like her eyes it was like that weird Tim Burton animation, and I was like, "Ah!" I still can see it. It creeps me out. I hate it. Anyway, so
Tim Burton did Beetlejuice, right?
He did Beetlejuice too, because I think all that kind of happened really fast. Because then I think he did. I don't know if he did Edward Scissorhands right after that, but then he did Edward Scissorhands, Beetlejuice. I mean, it was like kind of a domino effect for him. I think Batman was in there. I don't remember when.
Oh yeah.
I thought Batman was after. No, I guess Batman was 89. Anyway, okay, we're not
the year I was born.
Oh, look at that. Fucking superhero.
I am.
I get Pee Wee Herman, you get fucking Batman. This is bullshit. Okay.
Haha, bitch.
So, yeah. Okay, so fun fact, in 2014, an original bike that was used in Pee Wee's Big Adventure went up for auction on eBay. The seller was hoping to get $15,000 for the iconic prop. He ended up selling it for $36,000, which isn't quite $100 billion, but it's still impressive. So good on you.
I'm surprised it only sold for that much.
I'm actually shocked that it did because I
$36,000 for Pee Wee's fucking bike,
It's a pretty cool bike. It's a pretty
I would think
dope
at least
bike. 100K. Yeah,
100K.
100K. That's like 100,000, but like it's like
150.
150. Yeah. No, I love when she stands like that because she stands pigeon-toed. Do you see that?
She is a pigeon-toed cat.
She is. I love her so much.
She is a special one.
She's my special baby. Yeah, no, just because it had all the bells and whistles to it, like it was a pretty gorgeous
and it was
bike.
Pee Wee Herman's bike.
Yeah, but not just
and
that.
it was a 1940s Schwinn.
It was but it was also just like it was the way that it was decked out. It was super fucking cool. Okay. So in 1986 comes and Pee Wee's Playhouse comes to television, which I didn't actually know was 86. I thought it was actually later. So it was one of, again, my favorites. But after listening to like the almost 2.5 minute theme song, I don't know how my parents put up with it.
2.5 minutes?
It's 2.5 minutes. And I remember...
Oh my God, that's so annoying.
No, and all I can really, like, before, because I listened...
Maybe your parents were just stoned.
They could have been. Like, they could have been. And, like, they probably got that, like, skank-ass weed because, like... It was back at the fucking 80s.
In Texas.
And so, let's be real.
That ditch weed.
Like that nasty weed. No, because all I remember, before I listened to it on YouTube, I remember the squirrel, because it was like a bunch of claymation in the very beginning. Did you ever watch any of it, ever?
I only remember that, like, there was a machine that made his breakfast.
Yes. Oh, we're going to talk about the characters, so don't worry about it.
That's all I remember.
So... in the very beginning, it was like this claymation. It was like a giant beaver or squirrel, or it was probably a beaver. And it was like...
Sure, it was a beaver.
It cut down like the playhouse sign. And so I remember that. And then it would like be like this ethereal scene of this like woodland creatures. And then it would go up to the Pee Wee's Playhouse. And then it would be a 2.5 minute fucking song. And it wasn't just like a fun... Blues Cluesy kind of song. I mean, it was like high pitched. Like, go, you guys, go look it up. Like, it's pretty fucking obnoxious. And I don't know how my parents. But I guess to be fair, it wasn't like there was Netflix back then, so it wasn't like we were doing back to back to back of Pee Wee's Playhouse, whatever. Because they probably like, you're gonna have to skip that shit. So like one episode a week.
That's when they went to go do lines in the bathroom. They're like,
exactly.
All right, it's time. We got 2.5 minutes.
2.5 minutes. It's fine. She won't even know.
Just kidding, Mr. and
Saturday morning,
Mrs.
Eat your honeycomb. It's fine, baby girl. You're doing great. Just watch Ninja Turtles after that. Yeah. Okay. So anyway, fun fact: the original song was sung by none other than Cyndi Lauper.
What?
Yes, she was. That's
dope.
She sang it imitating Betty Boop. So if you listen to it,
God, Betty Boop was my favorite.
Do you remember the theme song at all?
No.
Okay, pause. Okay, we're back.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Okay, so I had to I was not going to put that into your guys' ear holes, but I had to let Brie understand like what because I couldn't imitate her impersonating Betty Boop.
Oh,
you did it good.
So you can't really do it.
No, I can't do it. No.
I can't make my voice go as high as she did.
It is rough. Okay. So anyway.
That literally gave me the heebie-jeebies.
Yeah,
I feel like I'm going to barf. But that's okay.
Yeah, it's true. Yes, so gross. Yeah. Okay. So, and then the original concept for Pee Wee's Playhouse was actually an animated series, but Paul was like, fuck that.
I gotta be in this.
I need to make it really fucking uncomfortable for everybody. So we're gonna make it.
That's what the show is.
Yeah, that's what the show is. So, so the show starred Pee Wee living in his wild and wacky playhouse full of all kind of talking shit. So I'm gonna go.
That looked like it's on meth.
100%. They probably all were. So this was the 80s, for God's sakes.
That's true. Everyone was on coke on that fucking set.
100%. So I'm gonna go off like through the list of like little characters that were on the show. So we had Cowboy Curtis, which was Lawrence Fishburne, which was so funny. He was totally in that fucking Matrix. And he was a cowboy in the 1950s pop culture sense with like the little mullet. And actually, when they went in to like, go, I don't remember what, I don't know if I wrote it down in my notes, but he went into like audition for the character, and they're like, and he like played it super serious, and they're like, yeah, can you fucking lighten up? It's a goddamn kids show. And they're like, just take this fucking coke, you'll be fine. We had,
all right, you're hired.
Perfect. Okay, so in the first season we had Captain Carl, which was played by Phil Hartman. And he was like a little unshaven sea captain that was just obnoxious. He would come to the window and he would be like, you remember him? Like, yeah. He was like, yeah. So he was more adult oriented, and in this HBO special, and like Missy Yvonne appears to have like deep feelings for him. So that's what I remember. But anyway. Let's see. Then we had Miss Yvonne, who she was like, she was always like dressing like that 1980s, like, or 1980, like just like that really flu ball gown with like the beehive or whatever. Yeah. So she was obsessed with beauty and cosmetics, and she would like often like flirt with Pee-wee, even though like technically he was a child, which was weird to me, but whatever. And she would like be a floozy, I guess, with like all the fucking male things on the show, like Captain Carl, and I think she did it with like the
chair.
Cowboy Curtis. Yes, the chair as well. Let's see, and what
a weird.
Yeah, she was given the title "The Most Beautiful Woman in Puppet Land" by the puppet characters. Yeah. So okay, then we had, let's see. I'm just gonna name the ones that I feel like that were like the most prominent in my brain. Let's see. Nah, not doing that one either. So there was the Playhouse Gang, which was like, it was 3 children who interact with Pee-wee during the first season, who were replaced by 3 other children with like it for like the second season, which I don't really remember them, but that was interesting that they were on there.
But they were actual children?
They're actual children, I believe.
The only children on the show.
Yeah, pretty much.
And they were the gang?
Yeah, they were the Playhouse Gang.
Playhouse Gang.
Let's see. There was, I mean, of course, Jambi. Do you remember Jambi? He was the genie, and he would grant a wish, but usually the wish would like go awry or whatever, and it was like always with how did you make the wish? It was mecca lecca hi leho. Have you ever heard of that? No. Okay, that's cool. So just me. Yeah. So he was like essentially like a disembodied head. He was painted green. So yeah, and he would always like end up like either in the beginning or the middle of the show, because again, like the wish would kind of go awry every single time.
Was it kind of like an Amelia Bedelia thing? Like he would word it weird so it would be weird?
Well, he just was like a shitty genie. He just his magic was just,
he was on coke.
Yeah, he was just on coke, and it was always
a cracked
fucked.
out genie.
100%.
Got it. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. So and then we had, let's see, we had Cherry, which was which was the green chair. So
Cherry.
Yeah, Cherry, very unique, right? So it was a bluish green armchair with eyes on the chair back, like on the chair back, a mouth between the seats. Which honestly, for the longest time as a kid, I remember like thinking it was a dog for some reason, because it looked like a dog. But like she would like the armrest would like flop around, and she would like hug Pee-wee like when she would sit on him. Which it also looked like a giant toilet to me too.
Yeah,
kind of weird. Yeah. So then we also had the magic screen that would like walk around and had like a weird mouth. And so that screen was like on wheels, and it would like slightly resemble an etch and sketch. And she shows like films, and Pee-wee would frequently jump into the screen to interact with the fantasy land inside. I remember that. We had P. Terry, which was the green pterodactyl. Pterodactyl. You don't pronounce T.
Patera.
The pterodactyl. Then it was like one of his like little closest friends. And he actually like just acts like a sensitive young child. So he was just like all sad all the time. He would get his feelings hurt all the time. You had Mr. Window, and he would like announce everyone that would come in. Clocky, guess what he was?
A clock.
Yeah. And he would often just like introduce the cartoons. And then we had the robot. Do you remember it was like, I believe his name was Conky 2000, and he was the Playhouse robot. He gives Pee-wee the secret word each week and serves as the computer element. He spoke with a stutter and is made with various parts of old electronics, including an old camera, attachments for eyes, a boombox for a chest, a phonograph for a torso, and a cash register for a head. So, yeah.
That's funny.
He was weird. And then we had Globey, and he was like the little spinning globe that would kind of dink around the little playhouse. He speaks in a French accent for some weird reason. And he helps people with geography, language, astrology.
That's
astrology.
cool.
That's not right. Astronomy.
Oh.
And which is, I guess it's kind of the same thing.
You are a Capricorn rising, and your moon is in Taurus.
Or history questions. So, and then we had the puppet band. They were like those 3 animal puppets that were like these 1950s like fucking jazz band.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they spoke in rhymes, and it was really weird. Then you had Mr. Kite.
They also looked drugged. The jazz
They always
puppets.
did. Yeah, they were like, yeah, it's cool, man. Whatever. Then you had Randy, which they made he was like the fucking Playhouse bully, which I didn't understand why they even made a Playhouse bully, but they did.
For entertainment value, Shay.
Duh, I'm so stupid.
You have to have a villain.
Yeah, that is true. Then we had the ants. There was like a little ant farm that he would go and he would feed, and they would he would actually he would close in up on the ant farm, and then it would be like this interactive, like they would act like, I guess, humans or whatever.
I remember that.
That one was really weird. Some of it was really fucking weird.
Oh, the whole thing was a little weird.
Yeah, and they would just kind of go
honest.
in. It was like they would just, but again, I guess it was a playhouse. So then you had the dinosaur family. It was like a den of miniature clay animation dinosaurs. They live in a mouse hole in the playhouse, which was bizarre.
Again, cocaine is a hell of a drug.
It is a hell of a drug. How would you just make?
What if the dinosaurs lived in the wall?
In the walls, but it's funny because they're so big.
And then we can talk about it for 17 more hours.
100%.
About how the dinosaurs are going to live in a mouse hole in the wall, and then they're going to be...
Yes. And then you had the fish that would kind of interact, and then they were like just giant puppets that would just be in the fish tank. And then you had Penny, that one always freaked the shit out of me because she was like claymation. So it was a claymation animation that she would go, we would go and watch, and she had pennies for eyes, and it scared the shit out of me. And she would it would make these
fucking Coraline.
Yeah, exactly like that. And then she would make these weird things with her hair, and you would hear it was weird.
Ew.
Yeah, it was real fucking weird.
Yeah,
it was real weird.
Watch that.
I'm trying to think of a couple of the other ones. Oh, you had the countess, but it was with a cow instead of the countess. It was it was a life-size talking cow that speaks in an elegant accent. But there was nothing that she gave to the show. She was just a cow that just would pop out every once in a while. Yeah, and then you had, I remember Flory, which was a section of the playhouse floor that just essentially talked. I remember that. Let's see. The other ones I don't really remember too much, but we had El Hombre, which was a Spanish language cartoon about a superhero who stops crime, thwarts strangers, saves people's lives, and rights the others rights any others' wrongs. And it's 6 different claymation animation shorts were featured on that show. So there was just a whole hodgepodge of shit. So
literally a hodgepodge.
Literally a hodgepodge. Yeah.
Perfect definition.
So the show became a hit, and during its time on the air, Pee-wee's Playhouse garnered 15 Emmy Awards somehow. Low standards.
Again,
okay.
80s, and cocaine's a hell of a drug.
Right, just kidding.
Dude, some weird ass shit won Oscars in the 80s. I just saw some shit about that fucking John Malkovich movie or some shit.
John Malkovich. It wasn't
I don't
the
know.
90s?
Yeah, that was.
Yeah.
There was something else that I was like, what?
Yeah, that's fair. But I mean, I guess to be fair though, in the 80s,
that was a really good story.
I mean,
there was something that I was like, what?
What? And then I was like, what? And then she was like, whoa.
Yeah, exactly.
So good. Such a good story. But I mean, I guess to be fair though, in the 80s, some of these things that they were doing were insane. These claymations and this hodgepodge of things all under one umbrella was pretty amazing. So that is pretty cool. So
It was a feat for that time.
100%.
It was weird as fuck.
Especially for like a television show.
For sure.
So some special guests included Phil Hartman, obviously, who was like a regular, but then he left at the first season because he got a gig on SNL. And I wonder if that burned Paul Rubens at all. I'm like, remember that thing you couldn't get into? Bye. So yeah.
At least I helped you.
Yeah, exactly. He also did help write Pee-wee's Big Adventure. So he was a big part of that, which I didn't know. So Natasha, what is her last name? It's like I can't ever pronounce it.
Bedingfield.
It starts with an L. She's in. Do you ever watch Slums of Beverly Hills?
No.
Oh, you would like that one. It's pretty good. She was pretty big in the 90s. But she was that person.
Okay.
So I just don't know how to pronounce her last name. And then you have Lawrence Fishburne, who plays the cowboy. Mm-hmm. Let's see. They had John Singleton, and he actually was a PA on the Playhouse set, production assistant. If anybody doesn't know what a PA is, and then okay, well there you go. and around the same time, he formed. Around the same time he formed White Zombie, and 17 years before he moved to the director's chair of House of a Thousand Corpses, Rob Zombie also was a production assistant on Pee-wee's Playhouse, which also makes a lot of fucking sense.
That literally brings it completely full circle.
Yes, 100%. So in 1988, a sequel to Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Wait, what's Rob Zombie's real name?
Oh no, it's just they didn't say his real name. Yeah, John Singleton was a different person. He earned 2 Oscars for, I guess he directed Boys in the Hood, which I never saw, so I don't know who that is. So in 1988, a sequel to Pee-wee's Big Adventure, Big Top Pee-wee, was filmed. That same year, Pee-wee was awarded a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame and starred in Pee-wee's Playhouse Christmas Special. The program included various celebrity guests, including Oprah Winfrey, Cher, Whoopi Goldberg, Grace Jones, Little Richard, and Joan Rivers, among others. So, nice. I mean, he has a big deal.
80s as fuck.
Right? Especially Oprah. Getting Oprah in the 80s? Damn.
Well, that was before she was like
I meant to say like...
yeah,
I said that really wrong because I'm like, she wasn't famous. So, it's crazy that she was on Pee-wee's Playhouse. Okay, so Paul thoughts... So this is
start of her career.
Totally. Launched it. So this is what Paul, like his like kind of overall thoughts on the show. Quote, I'm just trying to illustrate that it's okay to be different. Not that it's good, not that it's bad, but that it's all right. I'm trying to tell kids to have a good time and to encourage them to be creative and to question things, end quote. So, I mean, he got good intentions. It's a very sweet reasoning behind the weird-ass playhouse that you have. So, when it came to franchising, he wanted to reflect a wholesome brand. He refused to endorse candy bars and other kinds of junk food, while trying to develop his own sugar-free cereal, Pee-wee Chow, a product that would have been produced by Purina, which is weird to me. Pee-wee Chow.
Oh,
right.
No.
I couldn't tell if it was an actual cereal, if it was a dog food. I didn't know. So Pee-wee Chow.
Why would Purina to Purina? I don't know.
But maybe back in the 80s they had their hand in. Can you imagine the mix-up? Like,
they were multifaceted.
Hey, boss, I pulled the lever where it put the dog kibble in the honeycomb.
It's the same. It's fine.
Just put some honey on it. It's fine.
Human one has more sugar.
They won't even know. They won't even make a difference.
Literally.
So apparently, Pee-wee Chow never made it to the market after failing a blind test. Shocking. Okay. So let's see. During the late 80s, he began. Well, did you actually? I had the Pee-wee doll. So the Pee-wee doll, and it was like one of those old-fashioned 1950s dolls that you pull the string, and when you pull the string, he would laugh.
Oh no!
And he would say, "I believe it was like it was."
Do you have that?
No,
still?
Because the voice box finally broke,
and it was probably the creepiest thing you've ever heard.
Fuck, but like he was dressed to the nines in his like little, and I had it forever, and he had his little white loafers and his little suit. And you pull the string, but eventually the voice box broke, and it just sounded really creepy with that shit in the garbage. And he was pretty worn. He was fucked up.
He got real fucked up.
So, but I had that doll. But Anyway, so
is
my parents
hilarious.
they liked to give me weird shit. So yeah, so during the late 80s, he began successfully building a Pee-wee franchise with toys, clothes, and other items, generating more than $25 million at its peak in 1988. Paul also published a book as Pee-wee titled Travels with Pee-wee in 1989. And also, well, actually, I think I wrote it down later, so I'll say it later. In July of 1991, while visiting relatives, this kind of switches gears really fast, just so you know. Paul was arrested in Florida for masturbating publicly in an adult theater. Apparently, detectives.
But isn't that like expected in an adult theater?
Right, but like this is like I thought this was I guess I don't know why, but I didn't know this was like a job. I thought that they were following him. So apparently, detectives would periodically visit pornographic theaters and observe the audience, arresting those engaged in what these detectives considered indecent exposure. I mean, like,
what?
What a weird, like, hey, you're going to go and you're going to write tickets today, but you're going to go and you're going to sit in a nasty ass theater and you're going to watch people just
see if they
polish
fucking jack
themselves off. Like, that's going to be your job today. Like, I wonder if they draw straws for that, or like anybody that like got there last or didn't come to the meeting on time. They're like, guess what you get to do? Like,
lost the fucking donut bet.
Oh, fuck. Can you imagine? Gross. Gross. But at the same time, you're right. Like, I don't understand like how that's not expected. Like, it's a fucking titty film. Like, I don't understand.
It's literally a porn.
Right.
You're not expecting anyone to be touching themselves.
They're like,
then you're went in the wrong business.
You went totally in the wrong business. Stupid.
Like, that is literally your business, is to make people want to fucking jack off to a film. Or whatever else.
Whatever else it is.
If they're by themselves, what else are they gonna do?
That's what I don't understand either. But it's also at the same time, like, I guess, like, if you're going to go see a porno, like, you're not really thinking about the people around you and, like, masturbating. Because you're obviously don't give a fuck, so.
Clearly, it's not like you're going to see, like, fucking The Parent Trap.
But at the same time, I guess, like, in the 70s, but I guess, like, this is, like,
not going to see Pee-wee's Big Adventure in there.
Right? So I guess this is, like, in the late 80s, like, videotapes were a thing. So, like, I guess I understood pornographic films and, like, people, like, just sitting there and, like, I'm just gonna watch this film and just have like, yeah,
take my notes.
Fucking Debbie, popcorn? Are you gonna get all those dongs in your vagina? Oh my goodness. Yeah.
How did she lose her job?
This is so crazy. Yeah. So anyway,
what is gonna happen to her?
Yeah,
with these three buff men.
This is crazy.
I don't know. Is that how pornos work?
I think that's how they work.
I've seen like 4.
Yeah. But yeah, if I was that cop, I'd be like, can I go to the crime scenes, please? The ones that like have like the really fucking grotesque ones. I would rather do that than watch these people polish themselves off. It'd be great. It's fucking gross.
I hate that that's what you're calling it.
Polishing it off. Anyway, yeah, so they caught him rubbing his wiener, and then let's see. And apparently they arrested 3 other men doing the same thing. So, I wish that he probably would have said, like, I know you are, what am I? To the police officers, but whatever. He probably did not. So.
He might have.
Yeah. So it is.
I'm Wee Herman. I have a child show.
It's fine. Don't tell anybody. So it was believed the show was canceled due to this incident, but in reality, the show had been canceled in 1990. Due to a combination of multiple complaints.
That was in 1990?
Yeah, I think, this was so in July of 91 is when he got caught. So it actually had been canceled.
Like I remember that.
Yeah,
but probably. I was 2.
Right. But
I didn't know who Pee Wee Herman was. Maybe I just later on knew it.
Maybe just because you saw something like a rerun in SNL or something like that, I'm sure. Not that, I'm sure they made fun of him. That's all I'm saying. So it is believed that, again, I already said that. So, but the show had been canceled in 1990 due to a combination of multiple complaints of overworked crew members and a feeling that the Pee-wee character had run its course, and ultimately resulted in Paul deciding against a 6th season. So, however, due to a widespread popularity, CBS elected, so it was run on CBS. They elected to rerun Playhouse in syndication. The rest was widely covered, and both the character Pee-wee and Paul became the subject of ridicule. CBS stopped airing Playhouse, and Disney MGM Studios suspended from its studio tour a video that showed Pee-wee explaining how voiceover tracks were made. And Toys R Us removed Pee-wee toys from its stores, which is just such an old-fashioned, weird-ass sentence that's like a thing of the past. Isn't that weird? Yeah. I still can't believe that Toys R Us is just not a thing anymore. Anyway.
Sad.
It's so sad. But good thing that I already acquired my creepy-ass doll.
But everyone has a phone now, so they don't need toys.
That's true. No one fucking needs toys.
They just stare at their fucking screens all day.
So, there were celebrities that supported Paul, though. One of which
Howie Mandel?
No. Can you guess another one? Bill Cosby. He defended Rubens by saying, whatever. Rubens has done.
I'm sure he did.
Yeah,
I've done a lot worse than that.
Right? I'm just drugging people left and right over here.
I never got caught.
Exactly. So
I'm just fucking putting roofies in girls' drinks.
His size is you put it in a pudding cup. So whatever Rubens or Paul has done, this is being blown all out of proportion. End quote. That's it. That's all he had to say about Paul. So yeah, just foreshadowing just a little bit. So Paul goes...
Yeah, he was. A
little bit. So Paul goes underground for a number of years, obviously. He does state that he had grown tired of Pee-wee and wanted to try other things. There were rumors of a comeback Pee-wee dark comedy movie in the 2000s. With talks of him hoping that Johnny Depp would play Pee-wee if he himself felt he couldn't, hack it. Also, he had hopes that Justin Bieber would make a cameo. None of which came to fruition. Thank God.
Ew, does he have a crush on Justin Bieber?
Probably.
That is so random.
And gross and weird.
Yeah, that's really weird and random.
So, however, Pee-wee does come back in 2010, this time on Broadway for a limited run, like a limited run show. On February 1st of 2012, Rubens appears as Pee-wee on Bravo's Top Chef Texas and served as a guest judge. Part of the contestants' challenge was to ride a bike similar to Pee-wee's while gathering ingredients through San Antonio, which is pretty fucking dope. Yeah. To prepare and serve a special lunch for Pee-wee at the Alamo. While taping the Top Chef episode on the Alamo complex, a spokesman for Alamo and author Tony J. Cardy led Rubens on a guided tour of the basement of the Alamo grounds used as a gift shop for merchandise. Isn't that fucking cool?
That is cool.
I thought that was a pretty cool fun fact.
That's cool.
And lastly, in 2000...
Why San Antonio? Is he from there?
No, okay, so do you remember in the movie where the whole thing was he was going... They're like, your bag is in the basement of the Alamo, and he's just like, when can we see the Alamo? Or, I'm sorry, when can we go, to the basement? So that was the whole thing. So they made a whole episode on Top Chef about that.
I forgot about that. That's
so I thought that was really cool.
That is cool and clever, Top Chef.
Right? Good for you for being inventive.
Although,
cool, when do they? I'm like, but when did they shoot that? Can you imagine riding a bicycle in fucking Texas heat in July and be like, go find these ingredients. They better not be wilted by the time you get back to cook with them. Okay, thanks.
Fired.
In 2016, Netflix released Pee-wee's Big Holiday, Pee Wee Herman's first film in 28 years, which I have not yet watched.
Holy shit.
And it's a similar story to to Pee-wee's Big Adventures, as it's like a road trip kind of adventure.
Of course.
And that's all I got for nostalgia.
Holy fucking Pee-wee goddamn Herman.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Fucking jacking off in fucking adult movie theaters.
It's true.
Which, as gross as that fucking is, I don't blame him.
Right? He's just
what else are you supposed to do there?
Right? What am I going to do? Eat a hot dog? No. Right?
Hands up, everyone.
Right?
Hands up.
Gross.
The movies will start in 4 minutes.
What a weird job, too. I don't know how I feel about that.
The cops?
Right? I don't know about that. I would just... What a shitty detail. But I wonder if it's a bunch of, Vice rookie cops.
Probably.
Right?
You guys need some fucking...
Oh, God. Sorry.
Whoa!
I'm just throwing shit.
This is your initiation. You guys have to go to the fucking book ranch and watch the people, make sure they're not jacking off. And if they are jacking off, you have to go over to them, tap on their shoulder and be like, excuse me, you're arrested for indecent exposure.
Right, you can't do that anymore.
That could have been a fucking song, shoulder exposure. Do you...
Sorry.
I thought Shay was falling out of her chair.
No,
She lost the dice. All right, guys. While Shay's still looking for the dice, we've been looking for a couple minutes now.
28 minutes.
Yeah, get the phone light out.
I'm gonna.
We first of all just want to say hello and thank you for listening to our episode today. If this is your first time, fucking welcome, you mother shuckers. And if it's not your first time, and you've been with us a few times or the whole time, thank you, and we love you, and you know that. If you feel so inclined and you haven't yet, please, please, please leave a 5-star review and rate us on and a comment, review. 5-star review and review on iTunes, because that helps people see us. Definitely share with your friends. She found the goddamn dice.
Way over here.
Because if you haven't been with us, we do roll the dice every week to figure out what the fuck we're going to talk about next week for y'all.
That we do.
So we just want to say thank you, love you. If you don't already, follow us on Instagram, THURDYISH.
Yes.
Yeah, that's right. And then also, if you don't know, and you guys like CBD, we have a little podcast sponsor partner, Farmhouse Hemp, straight out of Fort Collins, Colorado, but they ship all over the goddamn place. So look them up. Use our code 30ish if you're wanting some dope products. They do things the right way, which is what we're all about too. So
Absolutely.
anyway, that was my spiel. Let's roll the goddamn dice.
Our retrieved dice.
I kind of like kneeling. I might just kneel the whole
like
time.
it.
I'm literally kneeling for you guys right now, okay?
That you are. Okay, here we go.
I'm on my knees for you.
Okay.
Okay.
Jesus Christ.
Sorry.
It's
I'm
fine.
not.
It's fine.
I mean, technically I am, but
You
not
are.
in any other sexual way, Pee-wee Hermans. You
Jesus.
fucking Pee-wees.
Jesus.
Why don't you go jack off in
Look
a
at
fucking...
me. I did it on the table this time.
4. Oh my God.
History. Boom. New one for me, finally.
History.
Yeah.
Here we go. One. Nostalgia pop culture.
Yeah. That's
Holy
a good one.
Shit.
That's a good one.
All right.
All right. I'm
It might be
excited.
time for NSYNC, but I don't know.
I like it. I think you should.
NSYNC is here to make you people scream. Anyways, okay, bye-bye. I forgot Shay's not supposed to edit this, so see you later.